Black Friday, the shopping sales extravaganza that falls the day after Thanksgiving, is considered one of the most important retail and spending events in the United States and has recently even made its way across the pond. But with slashed prices and sales becoming the norm, as the recession caused consumer spending habits to plummet, is it here to stay? Joining me down the line is Professor Steve Hanke. Steve, every holiday season predictions are made about the level of sales on Black Friday. What's the sentiment this year?
I think the sense is a modest improvement, but nothing spectacular one way or another.
How do these predictions really impact investor confidence, or don't they?
There's a lot of journalistic hype around these things, but 95% of what you read in the financial press and the economic journals is either wrong or irrelevant. And I think the hype around Black Friday is essentially irrelevant.
Well, Steve, you know, people fighting over that flat screen TV, it certainly does make good headlines. So you don't think there'll be any sort of knock-on effect to markets?
I think it's a big deal for a day or two before and a day or two after, and there'll be chatter about what's going to happen at Christmas time as a result of what they observed on Black Friday. But in the grand scheme of things, it's essentially irrelevant.
But Black Friday spending is often constructed as an indicator of the health of the economy. So you don't think this is an accurate measure?
The accurate measure of the economy and the expectations about the economy, you don't have these ad hoc theories like Black Friday theory. That you have a monetarist theory, and the rate of growth in the money supply determines the nominal rate of growth in the economy and asset price levels and things like that. So you have to use economic fundamentals. It isn't the flash in the pan of people charging into a super sale or something like this. It's the money supply, and the money supply in the United States, broadly measured, is still growing at a rather slow rate. And as a result, the aggregate demand growth in the U.S. economy is still growing below trend. So we're in a growth recession in the United States. We're growing, but we're growing at below the trend rate. And the reason for that is that money supply, broadly measured, M4, has been growing very slowly for now essentially ever since Lehman collapsed.
Well, of course, we also have Cyber Monday now. So how does that affect the mix, as there has been a notable shift to online shopping over the past few years? So do you think this perhaps could be the new indicator?
It will obviously be something that people are looking at, and I think it's important. As they say, at the margin, everything happens. And at the margin, the fast growth in the retail sector is online.
So Cyber Monday isn't journalist propaganda?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a real deal, but again, in the broad scheme of things, it's irrelevant, because what is relevant is the money supply, broadly measured, and how fast the money supply is growing. End of story. That's what determines the rate of growth in nominal GDP in the United States and the UK and in Europe and China and every place else.